Welcome to your online training program for Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, also known as HIPAA. Your online training program will cover the following subjects. What is HIPAA? What are its covered entities? The uses and disclosures of protected health information, the requirements of covered entities, and the rights of individuals. Before we begin, it is helpful to have a basic understanding of what HIPAA is. HIPAA is a federal law signed by President Bill Clinton in 1996. There are two titles under HIPAA legislation. Title I protects healthcare coverage for workers and their dependents if they lose their job. Title II was primarily established to set a national standard for exchanging and securing protected health information. Also included in Title II are guidelines regarding healthcare fraud. Within Title I, healthcare access, specifically renewability and portability, are covered. Within Title II, the following three subjects are covered: preventing healthcare fraud and abuse, medical liability reform, and administrative simplification. Let's begin with Title I of HIPAA legislation. This subject covers healthcare access, renewability, and portability. Renewability and portability do the following things. They limit a new employer health plan from excluding coverage due to pre-existing conditions. They provide more opportunity to enroll in a new group health plan if you lose coverage due to a change in certain life events. They prohibit discrimination against employees or their dependents due to previous medical history or claims. And finally, they guarantee that certain individuals will have access to and can renew individual insurance policies. Continuing on in Title I, the insurance portability title does not require that employers offer a health plan. It does not guarantee that a new employer's health plan will have coverage for current or new medical care. It does not prohibit a new employer from having a limitation on coverage for a condition that has been treated in the previous 6 months. Note that certain illnesses and injuries will not be subject to this exclusion. Moving on to Title II of HIPAA legislation. This title covers preventing healthcare fraud and abuse. It is important to note that HIPAA was established through a program to fight fraud against all health plans, both public and private. Also, a national healthcare fraud and abuse control program was established by the Attorney General and the Department of Health and Human Services. Title II of HIPAA legislation also covers administrative simplification. Administrative simplification requires the Department of Health and Human Services to establish national standards for electronic healthcare transactions, national identifiers for providers, health plans, and healthcare clearinghouses, and finally the security and privacy of individually identifiable health information, past, present, or future. Now that you have a basic understanding of HIPAA legislation and its titles, we'll begin the online course that will prepare you to deal with privacy issues you may face in your daily job responsibilities. This course will cover administrative simplification and key elements of the privacy rule, including protected health information, covered entities, uses and disclosures of protected health information, administrative requirements, and individual rights. Let's begin by understanding the privacy rule. The primary goal of the privacy rule is to ensure that an individual's health information is properly protected while allowing the flow of information to continue for the best possible medical care and outcome. This rule requires that safeguards be in place to protect the privacy of protected health information, and it also defines the way this information can be transmitted with and without authorization. Only healthcare providers directly involved in treatment, payment, or healthcare operations are authorized to access patient information. Should you encounter questions regarding coverage under the privacy rule, please refer to the CMS Decision Tool, which can be located at www.cms.gov. Let's move on to the security rule. The security rule is to protect the confidentiality and availability of protected health information that is maintained or transmitted electronically. There must be technical safeguards in place to protect against electronic misuse. Because it is so critical to understanding HIPAA legislation, let's delve deeper into protected health information. By definition, protected health information, or PHI, is any information retained or transmitted by a covered entity that relates to an individual's health status, provision for health care, or payment for health care. This identifiable health information includes all forms: electronic, paper, and oral. Protected health information encompasses all individually identifiable health information held or transmitted by a covered entity or its business associate in any form, electronic, paper, or oral. Let's review some examples of such information. They include address, health claims, billing information, full-face photos, prescription information, medical record number, vehicle identifiers, social security numbers, attendees of a workshop, birth dates, URLs, IP addresses, name, and medical research data. Should you question whether something is protected health information, please consult a supervisor. There are two notable exclusions under protected health information. The first is employment records that a covered entity maintains solely in its capacity as an employer. For example, leave information, return to work documents, or Family Medical Leave Act documents. Secondly, education records subject to or defined in Family Education's Right and Privacy Act, also known as FERPA.